Oh, it seems that the stage fright fairy has just crawled up my ass. I feel like I'm about to faint like my grandmother did the first time she saw The Cosby Show. But my grandmother was born in the year 1909. That was over 100 years ago. And back then, being white was like having the X, J, Q, and Z in Scrabble along with all the S's. It was like being Stretch Armstrong playing Twister against Stephen Hawking. It was like having the one ring to rule them all. I love Lord of the Rings, but I have to admit those are some of the whitest movies ever made. I don't know if you ever noticed, but all the blue-haired, blonde-eyed Aryan fuckers in that movie are presented as the good guys. The most sober drinking game you'll ever play is take a shot every time you spot a brother in Gondor. But the orcs don't count, that's racist. So yeah, I'm a stand-up virgin. I'm trying to ease the tension by just comparing it to the first time I had sex. So I have about 5 minutes up here, so the first 3.5 minutes is like fumbling in the dark for the hooks on the bra. Then another minute of where's Waldo's vagina, before I finally dock my yacht in the harbor, and then 30 seconds of this is not my hand. So I found a genie in a lamp once, and my first wish was that for just 24 hours I could have a vagina. I woke up the next morning all excited, my giant black dildos waiting on the nightstand. Oh yeah. With my luck, wouldn't you know it, it's my fucking time of the month. My second wish, Jenna Jameson was eating my pussy that night, and I came up with this really good idea with my new insight for a movie about a feminist movie about these two cowgirls from Wyoming who fall in love with each other and have a forbidden affair. Thinking about calling it Brokeback Mountain of Laundry. Or maybe a little shorter, just call it Brokeback Kitchen. The English language is very literal sometimes. A toaster toasts. A waiter waits for a better job to come along. My favorite though, and the weirdest maybe, is stereotype. The type that steals your stereo. So I logged on to Friendster the other day, and all my so-called friends have been ignoring me on there for years. But dogs learn about each other by sniffing each other's asses. And they take their time with it like it's a fine wine. But look at all the time we spend dicking around online. It's hours and hours and hours every day. But dogs learn about each other that way, so a dog's ass is its Facebook. Ooh, Rover joined the group. Thank God it's hump day. One new notification. Bandit pissed on your wall. Oh, Tinkerbell became a fan of, yo, I'm in heat. Hit me up, players. A good way to get kicked out of a funeral is a Ouija board and a tip jar. You ever heard that old saying, silence gives consent? Well, apparently that doesn't apply when she's asleep. When I was a kid, I didn't have access to Barbie dolls. No, I'm not going there. It's not what you think. I had no sisters, so all my G.I. Joe's first sexual experiences were with other G.I. Joes. Thank God there were 2 or 3 female ones. But all my G.I. Joes are either in G.I. Joe prison or burning in hell for what they did to those poor girls. Not to mention what would happen when the Transformers joined in. Can you imagine being raped by a giant robot? And all this holding Lady J together is a shitty rubber band right here. But when I was little, I would always say, Lady J, you knew what you were getting into. You only dated him because he was a Ferrari. You guys are familiar with haiku, right? The Japanese poem, 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. No one gives a shit about poetry anymore, I know that, but you will come across a really powerful haiku every now and then. You want to hear my favorite haiku of all time?
Yes.
I'm tired of all these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. And one last joke. Because I'm not a faggot. I like my coffee like I like my women. Like a lot of historical comedians do. I like my coffee like I like my women. Instant, artificially sweetened, and 36 double D. I don't even know if that's my time or not, but I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you.
Mr. Michael Lee Hunt, ladies and gentlemen, make the goddamn noise.